politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact only on
Good morning and welcome to Atlantic Blowout. Atlantic Blowout is a syndicated live program of the network featuring chit-chatting and conversation on special interest topics, news, events and stories through correspondence reports, expert opinion and stakeholders analysis. These are the stories making today's headlines. Akwa Ibom State, ENA pressured over traditional rulers' law. In Anambra State, NSCDC arrests illegal miners. In Benue State, protests.
the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today. Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the space in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back to Atlantic Blowout. Joining today's conversation is a socio-political analyst, Mr. Henry Ibude. You're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
Now to the stories. Determined to amicably resolve the lingering ethnic tension over the amended Akwa Ibom State's Traditional Rulers Law, Governor Umar Eno has conceded to the principle of rotation for the position of President General, Supreme Council of Traditional Rulers, which the new law disallowed. Eno, according to a statement yesterday signed by his chief press secretary, Mr. Ekerete Udo, who made his position on the matter known during another truce meeting he held with the paramount ruler
of the Traditional Ruler Supreme Council. And having to retract his step tells you that he's a listening governor. So it's imperative that in the political dispensation, people are able to have a listening ear to the people you govern or the people you rule, because it's not a one-man show. I think he's retracing his step to kind of give the traditional rulers a hearsay for them to have a rotational presidency as far as the Supreme Council of Traditional Rulers is concerned. To me, it's a plus.
Okay. And Civil Defense Corps, Anambra State Command have arrested 2 persons for engaging in illegal mining activities. Based on credible intelligence, the command said the suspects were arrested around 11 p.m. on quarter on Wednesday, commanded the command's mining marshal squad, led by Agunwa Osita, for acting on the strength of the information to apprehend the economic saboteurs. Marcus said the suspects, Madueke Apuchuku, male, aged 53, from Awamama town in Oru East local government area of Imo State, and Chemeze Ezenduka, male, age 54, of Onitsha, were apprehended at Iberian conveying suspected solid mineral kaolin without relevant permit. The NSC.
That's just the first stage. There should be further investigation so that they can go to the root cause and those that are involved. In terms of the companies that are also buying.
Sanction these buyers, because it's business now. Illegal mining is business. If they do not have it, they definitely will not be mining. It would not be a successful business for them. So what sanctions do you recommend that this agency puts on buyers when they catch them?
Before you talk about sanctions, they should first of all carry out proper investigative journalism. Trace the buyers, trace the people that are involved, trace the sponsors. Once that is done, they charge them to court with the relevant laws. Then the punishment that is ascribed for such be accorded to them.
Okay. Now, what role can the government itself play in curbing the exploitation of our natural resources by both foreign and even native exploitators?
Please come again, I didn't get you.
What role can the government play in this case, apart from...
The onus lies on the government to ensure that you purge your house, you purge your system. and you're able to pinpoint and get those saboteurs out and accord a respective punishment in line with the law. By doing that, the foreign spectators will obviously know that it's no longer used business as usual.
Okay, now, do you think also that indigenes of Anambra State should be allowed to mine their own resources? For example, if you find a natural resource in your land, on your property, according to the Land Act, you should be able to access the things on your property being harnessed by the East, just like it is allegedly done in the North.
Thank you very much. I think the aspect of indigenes mining their resources region, then when you are beginning to allow foreigners to come to exploit the resources, natural resources that God has given to that region at the expense of the people, and you see them being impoverished. There's no proper water and other things, and it's affecting their environment. So what does these foreigners do when they come to exploit such area? They expropriate flight capital, expropriate such resources, and take it to their metropoles at the expense of the indigenous state or the environment. So who's at the loss? It's those from that region. So it's imperative that such be put into law, and not just being into law, but it's being followed to the letter. So we don't have allowed foreign infiltrators coming into our system to exploit us at the detriment of the indigenes.
Okay. All right. On to the next story. Indigenes of Gwa West local government area of Benue State trooped out on Tuesday evening and blocked the Markadi Naka Road to protest killings. About 26 people in 3 communities were killed in the council area of bandits suspected to be herdsmen. The local government area chairman, Henry Agba, informed our correspondents that the attack, which commenced on Saturday, lasted till Monday, leading to the death of 26 people, including 6 personnel of Benue State Community Volunteer Guards and Livestock Guards. The residents who trooped out to protest accused the state government of not implementing the anti-open grazing law. Meanwhile, the Deputy Governor, Sam Ode, had on March 6, 2024, announced the full enforcement of the anti-open grazing and those grazing openly in the state to vacate. The protesters, who carried several placards with different inscriptions, called on the federal and state governments to protect the people against armed herdsmen. Now, the farmer-herder conflict in the Middle Belt, Nigeria, continues to be a problem. It continues to linger, despite the anti-open grazing laws. The attacks on farmlands continue. Now, what can be done to protect lives and properties and even food security in Benue State, being the food basket of the nation?
It is appalling and preposterous when 26 persons. If you go into that, you find that is connected to so many lives. 26 persons, that's connected to so many lives, and it's detrimental to the state. The open grazing prohibition and range establishment law of Benue State has been there, it has been passed. But it's not just one of the problems we have in Nigeria is the implementation. We always have good laws that are there at our dispositions, they are open.
Security agencies in Benue State, are these security agencies not supposed to be enough to protect the farmlands, to protect the farmers against these herders? Because it is very sad to have farmers who work very hard to have plants, to have animals with their blood and their sweat, and have these issues occur and happen to them. Should these agencies not be enough? Do the people have to protect themselves by themselves?
The people trying to protect themselves, from what you said, you found that among the people that died, some happen to be among the local vigilante or the security outfit that was set up there. I don't think if any policeman died in that
Not
flat.
at all, no.
So that tells you a lot. So that tells you if the presence of the police force was there. A lot. So that's why I said, if the police, state policing is approved by, according to how some school of thought are perceiving it, it will go a long way to enhance and beef the security, because that's 3 whole days. I don't know how the police force unit, as far as that area is concerned, will be able to defend that. 3 whole days. We're not talking about 3 hours. We're talking about 3 whole days. And the people that died in that espionage had to do it. Some were the farmers and that of the local vigilante trying to protect their land.
The economic ecosystem of Nigeria.
We can't talk about development or growth in any clime when there's insecurity. So as long as we keep having insecurity in Nigeria, it will keep being a problem. There are also political school of thought that believe that these are politically orchestrated in order to, for whatever reasons. But it's imperative that the government begin to look into and see beyond that and put their foot on the ground. I think it's something that can be tackled, but
money laundering. Now, the question is, the governor visiting Yahaya during the EFCC siege with his current charge on money laundering does raise quite an eyebrow. What do you think of this situation?
Because some persons feel they have immunity. But we must understand that if you're a former governor, immediately you are stripped of that and you're now a public servant or a citizen. Your immunity is for you as the governor of the state. I don't think it's also spread to Dodo being there in the first place. It has some questions because he is the governor. You have immunity, but does that immunity spread to you going to defend the former governor? I want to ask, if it was somebody else, will he do that? If it was not the former governor, will he do that? So that's why politics talks about interest. There are a lot of interplay when it comes to politics that are going on. So for the EFCC, I feel in such a case, there should be, when you're going for such arrest, and they should state the reason why they are doing that. So the public can have to pull their men out, and Yaya Bello evaded arrest, so he was not taken away.
Okay, so talking about immunity for past office holders, do you think that past office holders, in the case of Yaya Bello, should be given a certain immunity against harassments by security agencies?
The Constitution does not permit that at all.
Do you think a law should be created for that?
Never. It shouldn't be created. You should be answerable to the public and the citizens. So how?
What if it's a case of harassment? Because in this case, the EFCC hasn't come out to say anything concerning this siege.
That is why I said they should, yes, before they carry out such arrests, I guess there ought to be a warrant of arrest. So on getting there, I think those are the first thing you should be able to.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and
ATN covers
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Welcome back.
That's what I would say first of all. The price of diesel from 1.6 is what matters. You agree with me? You agree with me that? Sorry about that. Time, the point where he came into power, what was the price of diesel? It goes a long way because you agree with me that a lot of manufacturers, people that produce, use heavy equipment, they use this diesel, and they're going to factor in the cost of this diesel into their production, so they cannot be at a loss. You cannot do business and be at a loss and still remain there. It's not possible. So which also trickled down to the least consumer. The least consumer in the chain is you and I that have to go to purchase or buy their goods. So it's imperative that it is us, the consumers, You need to go down there. So if the price of what we were buying before is being reduced, it's a question. Something is wrong somewhere.
Okay. Now, this price cut by Dangote refineries, do you not think that it would actually bring down the price hike or impact the price hike in today's current market? Do you not think that the prices of goods and services, due to this price cut, will drastically drop?
Like I said, I don't think it will drop immediately.
Because this just happened, yes.
Yes, I don't think it will drop immediately. I just cited that of the dollar. That I think for over a month now, you can see how it has been growing.
Yes, the naira is gaining strength at the moment. But and it's obvious that the prices of things are coming down gradually because of the strength of the naira. So would this also be applicable with the price cuts by Dangote refineries?
I feel it should, but the margin is still very little, to my understanding. I'm looking at the time the government came into power. What was the price of diesel? Throwing it out. But I'm emphatic or concerned about the impact that will have on the least consumer out there as far as the economy is concerned. So it shouldn't just be the aspect of lip service or where we just hear on theoretically. I want to say the practical effect in the marketplace, in the streets, people that are doing businesses, let those that are going to buy the diesel begin to. We are talking about Dangote refinery.
Yes.
Dangote refinery, not others, how they are getting their fuel. So just like you have the current NNPC today that sells PMS for about.
Or has extended his best wishes to Nigerian chess master Tunde Onakoya in his attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the longest chess marathon on Wednesday. Onakoya, the founder of Chess in Slums Africa, announced his plan to play chess continuously for 58 hours without losing a game from 10 a.m. on 17th April to 8 p.m. on April 19th in Times Square, New York City. Onakoya said he was doing it for the dreams of millions of children across Africa without access to education. Sharing a picture of himself and Onakoya playing chess, Osibanjo wrote on his X handle on Wednesday, "Dear Tunde, best of luck in Times Square as you attempt to set the Guinness World Record for the longest chess marathon." Now, since Hildebas is breaking the world record in May 2023, there's been quite a lot of attempted marathons with government supports. Now, how are these marathons pertinent to the economic growth of the society looking at the current hardship?
Trust the average Nigerian out there. We are resilient people, good people, great nation. And you agree with me that a lot of Nigerians are making positive impact out there. A lot of Nigerians are making, and Onakoya is one of them. And it's nice that Professor Simbanjo is coming to kind of give him a boost and encourage him on going out for this Guinness World Record. It's a positive sign. If you look at it,
of support in this case is because this feels like an entertainment or some sporting of some sort. Do you think the government involving itself in world record marathons would make any impact in the economic growth, seeing that there's a lot of hardship? Do you think the government's focus at this point should be in marathons?
I think Osibanjo is no longer in government, so I believe he's doing that from a personal ground.
Can we say that he's no longer in government? Being that he just finished serving, we cannot say that...
Officially, he's no longer in government. So what are you going to tag him as what? He was the former vice president.
But it doesn't mean that he's not politically inclined or he does not participate politically.
He does, but he's going to be operating from his personal space and the influence he holds.
So it still has a political or governmental undertone to it?
Sure. That is, I'm talking about, he's going to operate from his personal space. If you were talking about the state government, the federal government, getting involved in this, I think then I would say, okay, yes, the government of the day. But for him giving support, I am seeing it more from the personal space. That's he himself as an individual. I think there's a picture he showed where both of them were having playing chess together. So it shows that he is also a chess player and is good at it, and he must have known him before now, and his ideals or his goals and how to reach out to the less privileged in Africa, those that don't have education. So hence he's coming out to say, okay, let me support this one. So I too also want to support and say, yes, it's a good one, things like this that puts Nigeria and Africa there in the place. Because you're talking about the image of Nigeria.
Okay, now moving away from image, but I want to quite understand the economic relevance of this support, because we even saw the case in Lagos State where Hilda Basi conducted her own marathon, but the governor, the serving governor, Governor Sanwo-Olu, came out to show his support. He was present there, and this was in May 2023, just last year, barely a year ago. How is this of economic relevance, seeing that Nigeria is going through a hardship process? The citizens are crying and they are impoverished at the moment. How does this, at this juncture, at this time,
Today, anything that is happening, you find that people want to quickly jump into it.
Now let's bring you back to government support with causes like this. Do you think the government should be involved in marathons, in causes like this? Should they give their support to these individuals, to citizens who are interested in breaking world records? Do you think it would in any way cause, apart from imaging, the great imaging positioning, do you think it would cause any change or have any implication in the economic ecosystem?
Development is not just only about economic aspect and all that. Let's look at sports. You have people that into track and field events. They are individuals. Do they need government support?
Yes, they do.
If yes, then what happened then? Why people that are also going for marathon, why won't they get support? So if the government is supporting them, it's not out of place. It's not out of place. So they can give little support to also help such individuals, but because over time it will spread to not just that individual, but within a circle. You understand? So development doesn't just come only with the government doing everything. So a little support, a little boost. Okay, we are there for you. We recognize what you're doing well. It's also a plus because that can go a long way to encourage that person that yes, the government recognizes what I'm doing and
Look, this is a chess game ongoing. It's not quite a popular game. We have also other kinds of board games which are not being exploited, especially in the sports world. They're not given a look. What do you think the government can do to put a torchlight on these smaller games that do not seem to be the main games like football or basketball or, you know, the other popular games that bring the nation together and put us in peace and unity?
This is the more reason why I said it's not out of place for the government to come out and support. So with the support of the government, games like this will begin to gain relevance out there and more people will begin to see it and want to get involved. Okay, this is how it is. They want to learn. And they can set up facilities or training centers and competitions over time.